Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank B Chopping, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Alright guys, so what we gonna be doing on this cut is we just gonna even the top out. You know what I'm saying? This top wasn't too even, so we're just gonna even it out. We ain't really taking too much off the top, and then we're gonna be doing a low fade. Let's go. Alright, so as y'all can see, your boy is just saturating the top of his head. You know, we're just getting it all nice and prepped so we can go ahead and start this shear work. So as you can see, I'm coming my section up right here, and I'm setting in my first initial guideline, and I'm going to use this guideline coming forward. So every section that I come up, I'm actually using the previous guideline coming all the way forward, and then I'm going to be doing my sections the opposite way, as you can see here. And every section that I come up, I'm using that initial guideline to help me see what needs to be cut off so that the top of his hair is all even. And we're just gonna do this all over the top of the head. You know, like I said, we ain't taking too much length off. As you can see, not too much hair came off, but we are, you know, we do want to make sure it's nice and even, just so it looks better. So I believe I've actually cut this dude's hair on YouTube once before. This is my client. I've been cutting him for like 2-3 years or so. But I think last time we did it for YouTube, I think he got like a comb over. So this time he just, you know, he wanted to go for something a little different. So we decided to do just the low fade, and you know, he's combing the top down. So that's basically what we're doing for this haircut. Alright, but jumping back into this haircut, guys, as y'all can see, I'm setting in my bald guideline. I am using my X Evos from Gamma. And, you know, sometimes I punch the line in, sometimes I come up with the clipper. It really just depends on how the hair is growing, how long it is, and how it's looking when I'm doing it, the way I'm doing it. So yeah, you know, I really have no method sometimes. I just sit in my bald guideline, and y'all know I like to drop my, you know, my fades in the back. And so we are doing a low fade, you know, we want to drop that in the back just so it contours the head shape a little better. Alright, so now that the bald line is in place, what I'm doing here is I'm taking my Uno shaver and I'm going all the way up to that line. However, the closer I get to that line, I start using a flick out motion and I start relieving some pressure. That way it doesn't make that line too harsh and make it too hard to take out when we get to actually fading. And this is a good tool to use on low fades, on little kids. You know, I like to use my Uno a lot. It just comes in handy, and you know, in them tight to them hard to reach areas. Alright, so now what I'm doing here, guys, I have my number 4 guard on my Mythics from Stylecraft, and what I'm doing is I'm debulking, you know, debulking the side of his head. However, I'm still following that same shape that I created with that bald guideline. Only difference is I'm coming right to about the parietal ridge area, and as y'all can see, I'm using a flick out motion. I'm really not following the shape of the head when it comes to bringing this, you know, bringing the sides down. I'm following the shape that I created with my bald guideline, and like I said, I'm using that flick out motion. That way it fades into the top. Very nice. I don't know why I said that weird, but yeah. Alright, so now we're gonna start actually fading. I'm going in with my clipper all the way open, setting in my next guideline, and I'm only coming up about 1/2 inch or so. You know, I do want to keep this fade low, so I don't want to stretch my guidelines too much. So I'm coming up about 1/2 inch. Setting in my next guideline, and I am going to be doing this fade a little different. I know most of the time I go ahead and fade this out, but I'm going to actually just leave this guideline in, and I'm going to move on to my next step. So here is my number 1 guard with the lever open, and I'm setting in my next guideline, and I'm doing the same thing, guys. I am coming up about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch or so, following that same shape that I previously created. And like I said, I just wanted to attack this haircut a little differently, just so I can give y'all some different type of content, so y'all don't, you know, it's not always the same thing, and just so y'all know that there's more than one way to give a nice haircut. You know, you don't always have to do the same exact thing every time. So this is my number 2 guard, lever open. So I skipped my 0 guard and I skipped my 1.5 guard. But this is the 2 guard open, and I'm coming up another section, still using a flick out motion, and as you can see, it's pretty much fading into the top of this head of this hair, but we're still gonna go in with our 3 guard open, and that's what this is here, following that same shape. And this should basically tie the side end to the top, because if you remember, I did previously go over the sides with a number 4 guard. But as y'all can see here, guys, I am still using the flick out motion. I don't want to create a harsh guideline. I don't want to set in any more lines or any dark spots, so I'm using that flick out motion. That way it fades nicely into the next guard. And then as you just saw me do there, I close my lever and I'm coming up right below what I did with that 3 guard open. Alright, so now I'm going to start taking away some of these lines. I'm going in with my lever halfway open, and I'm coming up halfway into this section that I created at the bottom. And then I'm going to fade this section out. So after I go in with my lever halfway open, halfway into the section, I'm going to close my lever 1 notch, come up slightly before that, and then after I do that, I'm going to close my lever all the way, and I'm going to attack the bottom line with my lever all the way closed. And if that doesn't get this line completely out, which it probably won't, you know, some clippers may, but I don't have mine 0 gap, like all the way. So if you do, it might take that line completely out. However, I don't. So it's not gonna take that line completely out, and I'm just gonna have to go back in later with my trimmer to erase that line. So as y'all can see that I got my brush in my hand. I don't know why I just stuttered a lot, but I got my brush in my hand also, and I'm just brushing away that extra debris, man. Like, you want to make sure you clean the area you're working on. That way you can actually see what's going on. Alright, so now I'm going in with my 0 guard or my 1/16 guard, whatever you want to call it. My lever is all the way open, and I'm coming up halfway into that next section that was there, and I'm using a flick out motion. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my lever halfway, come right below that, and then once I detail that a little bit, I'm going to go in with my lever all the way closed and try to attack that bottom line in that section. And for the most part, it should get rid of that line completely. But if it doesn't, then I'll just have to come back later on and do some more detail work. But for the most part, it should get rid of that line. And remember, guys, I still want to follow that shape that I originally created. That way it leaves that nice shape when I'm, you know, in the finished product. And you don't have to use the whole clipper or the whole blade. My advice is actually try to use the corners of your blade just so you can be a little more precise. And this is my 1.5 guard, lever all the way open, and I'm taking out that line in that next section. And as you can see, I'm doing the same thing. I'm flicking out, I'm using the flick out motion, and I'm using the corner of my blade just to make sure, like I said, guys, I want to be really precise with what I'm doing. I want to make sure that I'm, you know, paying attention to what I'm doing and making sure that I'm only taking away what I'm trying to take away, and basically not take out too much when I'm not trying to. So I went in with my lever all the way open. I did my work there, and it didn't completely get out them dark areas in that line. So now I'm going in with my lever all the way closed, coming right below what I just did. And for the most part, this should get rid of that line. And as y'all can see, this blend is already coming together. We do got some more detail work to do, but the blend it's looking good, man. Like I think it looks good at least. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this blend so far. And remember, guys, when it comes to doing these steps, you don't necessarily have to do it for like a certain amount of time. You do it for however long you need to do it to clean up that haircut and to make that haircut look good. Alright, so now I'm going back in and I'm doing some more detail work. I believe this is my number 1 guard. Or you know what, I'm lying, this is actually my 0 guard. And I'm just cleaning up that bottom, you know, that bottom dark area that y'all see right there, using the flick out motion, you know, just using the corner of my blades, just really trying to get this haircut to come together. And then this is my number 1 guard. My lever is all the way open, and I'm just doing some more detail work. So basically everything I'm doing now is detail work. And remember, guys, when it comes to detail work, you use whatever guards you need. You can switch guards. You can go from a bigger guard to a smaller guard. You just got to change your guards as needed to make sure you get a nice blend. So remember when I said I didn't get rid of that bottom line all the way? That's basically what I'm doing here. Is I'm taking my trimmer to get rid of that bottom line. Now I'm going in with my absolute hitters, and these are my hitters. So I go in and I'm lining up with these, and as you can see, it's making that line nice and sharp. We want to be careful in this corner area because, you know, he is thinning a little bit there. We don't want to push push that too high. We want to keep it, as low as we can keep it, but at the same time, we want to make sure it looks nice and crisp. So I am going to add some enhancements later, and I'm going to show y'all what I do when clients have, thinning hair right there. I'm going to show y'all what I do to make it look a little more fuller towards the end of this haircut. If y'all liking this video so far, please make sure to smash that like button. And just let me know how you think your boy's working, man. Like I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I think this blend is coming together. You know what I'm saying? I did attack this blend slightly different, but like I said, guys, I just don't want to keep putting out the same exact content all the time. So I decided to do things differently every now and then, just to give y'all some more knowledge and to give y'all some more content. And but yeah, that's basically it. I do want to give a shout out to my boy Tito Beats. He's the one that's always supplying your boy with these beats. Them beats are pretty fire. So if y'all like these beats, y'all make sure to subscribe to his channel. Also, if y'all like any of these tools y'all see your boy using, y'all can head over to the Stylecraft or the Gamma website, and you can actually use my code TANK10, and it's gonna save yourself a little bit of money. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you go and do that. I said that weird again. I don't know why I always be talking weird when I'm trying to record. Like I swear I don't talk weird on a normal basis. But yeah, if you're trying to copy any of these tools, y'all go head over to the Stylecraft or the Gamma website. Use my code TANK10. Do that. Save yourself some money. You know what I'm saying? And check me out on Instagram, man. My Instagram handle is right there in the corner. It's at @tank_bchopping. Make sure to follow the barbershop that I work at. It's at Chopper's Barbershop. I got a couple more haircut tutorials in the vault. I need to start recording again. I just been enjoying life, you know what I'm saying? Like just spending time with the kids, doing my stuff at work. However, it's raining outside. It is raining outside. That's anyway. I'm like veering off of what I was talking about, but yeah, I just been busy, you know what I'm saying? Like my kids just went back to school, so I've been busy like trying to get them ready for school, trying to get them their school clothes, school supplies, all that. If y'all watched my last video, y'all seen the shop that I work at. We actually went to the high school in the area, did a bunch of free haircuts, just giving back to the community, so I've been a little busy, ain't been able to record a lot of these tutorials for y'all. However, I'm gonna get back on the grind, guys. I'm gonna try to get a few more tutorials knocked out. Not necessarily knocked out, but trying to get a few more recorded. That way I can edit them and knock them out for y'all. And if y'all hear these weird noises right now, like I said, it's raining. I'm in my car doing this voiceover right now. I'm waiting for my next client, so I decided to do this voiceover right now. And it's raining and my windshield wiper started to come on. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, guys. But y'all just follow along with what y'all can. If you got any questions about this haircut, any questions about these tools, y'all let me know, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah, man, y'all just keep watching and enjoy.
Damn it, Tito. Another one?
Alright, so now that the lineup is done, I'm going back in, just adding these enhancements, making this haircut pop. You know how your boy does it. And right here, this is what I do when they have a receding hairline or some thinning areas. I like to comb the hair up first and just get, underneath that hair with a little bit of color enhancement. That way it looks a little sharper. But yeah, y'all know I don't like to put too much enhancements on. I like to make mine look fairly natural, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to make it look as crisp as possible without pushing it, or not pushing it back, but without making it look too fake. But check it out, guys. This is the before look. This is how my boy came into the shop looking, and this is the after. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comments, guys. If y'all like this haircut, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure and subscribe one time for your boy. But that's pretty much it, YouTube. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, let's go.